YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Marcus back with it again, and it has been a couple years, or maybe a year, since I've done the Keloid update. I'm trying to remember. I have to check my feed just to make sure, but man, I really wanted to get back to these videos for a minute, and a lot of y'all have been asking me, hey man, where's the updates? How are things looking like? You know, what's the process, the progress? And you know, y'all deserve to be able to have someone that y'all can see, you know, that is going through the process still, that's continuing just to be resilient in a part of life like this, right? Because a lot of times when we're going through situations, it's not even so much about getting the final result, end result, whatever you want to call it. It's more so having someone or people in your space that you can go through the process with, that understand how you're feeling, that can relate to a lot of the situations that you may be going through. And sometimes it may not even take as much. It can be just something simple that we are looking for. And I know that for the keloids specifically, a lot of times when we're thinking about different information and ways in which you can get them removed or ways to kind of stop the growth or however, there's not as much information out there, and sometimes there's not even that much of a result that can be done with it, right? It's just a continuous trial over time, you know, constantly getting them removed or using different type of ointments. But I want y'all to be able to have someone that can go through that process here with you. And you probably wonder, why has he got his shirt off? But I do have like some keloids and stuff on my body, so you know, definitely in this part of space of my life. Now I want to continue to be able to showcase different aspects of me so people can see it. I'm a person where I love being open. I love being able to put myself in a position to where things may be uncomfortable, in a sense to where, you know, a lot of people are afraid to be outspoken or to be vulnerable in a lot of situations. And it's even more important that y'all see it coming from a man's perspective, specifically a black man too, because a lot of times we're told in a sense that we're not people that are outspoken about different aspects of our life. So I know for myself, you know, including my friends, family, you know, I'm a person that's very open and outgoing. I'm a person that a lot of people reach out to and, you know, request information or just, you know, need us, you know, someone to talk to. And, you know, I'm kind of that person and the people around me that that people, you know, look to do that. And that's something that I do feel from a spiritual standpoint that I'm blessed to be able to do. You know, it's not always easy because, you know, you can be a person that's that people like lean into a lot, you know, to be able to kind of find certain answers. But you know, that's part of it. So it's something that I do enjoy though. And you know, saying all that to say, definitely want to be able to show y'all the keloid journey here. So just got out of the shower, so you probably see a little bit of water running down. But so we're gonna look at my face, right? So if y'all may have seen in the other videos before, I had like big welts as far as keloids on my face, and man, the process and the progress has just been amazing. So the last video that I did, I think I told y'all about a keloid that I was getting removed. I believe it was on my ear, and I can also post that video as well too, just showcasing that process. And I can say it still has been a process, right? For the keloids on my face, and then on my head, on my ears, some of these have come back multiple times, right? But I think it's just the process is just continuing to get the work done, and then also getting the injections, and then using different type of bandages and things like that. So for those who have not seen my videos in the past, and those that are new to my page, welcome to my page. And then I want to be able to show y'all just like the progress. So if y'all remember last time, or in some of my other videos, that I used to have like a big welt right here, like a big patch, right? And so all these keloids here are gone. So you see there's a couple like small bump spots right here, but this is just like a little bit of scars. But I mean, from the big patch that I had, I mean, this is amazing right here. So you see that there's beard growth here as well too. And so there's a couple areas to where it's hard for my facial hair to grow in. I also cut it down probably about like a couple months ago. So it just takes time for my hair grows quick, but in the facial hair area, it takes a lot of time for it to grow in. But as you can see here, like, look at that. So no, it's crazy, right? No type of like keloids have grown back here at all. Now I told y'all on this left side, I did go through the Lexington plastic surgeons. Now I did have a crazy type of situation with that just because it was out of network, but I can say for their process, when they did do the radiation after their keloid surgery, it went great. So if you are able to have you know, a process with them where you can be in network, I would definitely recommend them, because as far as for my left side, the way that it healed compared to any other part of the body, and was just amazing. Not saying that the right side has not healed well with the other sides, but this one probably did the best, if I'm being completely honest. Now for the right side, You see, we do have a couple spots here, but still, in regards to how I had the big patches over here, we no longer have those. So these, in my opinion, I feel like will go down. These have actually went down quite a bit. So a couple of these had ended up coming back, and so I ended up getting these removed probably about a year ago. And so since then, I mean, look at the progress though. I mean, you're seeing that. I mean, it's not even really noticeable. Like when I'm out from people that know me, they're like, DeMarcus, I don't even recognize it at times. The people that I just meet, they don't even know that anything's there. They're just like, okay, it's just a piece of skin, right? And so for me, for so long, I struggled with that because I felt at a certain point like these were big welts. And so my face looked a little bit kind of deformed in a sense. Now you see as far as my skin, my face, it's like it's got that shape versus before, maybe like this, or like one side was kind of like more chunky. And so that's a beautiful feeling right there. So yeah, a big thing that I've done too, which you're not supposed to do at times, I have seen where some ingrown hairs would get inside of the keloid, so I did go ahead and remove those. And the reason being is because I did feel like some itching and didn't feel that that was kind of expanding the scar more. But the true process is there's a couple of solutions and things that you should use, or that you can use in order to kind of reverse those ingrown hairs. And I'll talk about that in the next video, so I'll be posting that next week. And yeah, so even as far as my skin, like for those that may struggle with acne, like you see my whole face, like my face is clear. Let me try to get into the sun a little bit more. You see that? Like my face used to not be this clear. So for y'all that have been following my Accutane journey, like you know the process with that over time as well. So what I've been using is CeraVe. I also have a few essential oils that I use, and this has just been my process probably for like the last few years. I also, which is pretty dope, I created my own lotion from home. And so here, this lotion has just been legendary for myself. So in regards to just keeping my skin and stuff moisturized, it's been a great thing. So it's kind of like a shea butter type. So I'll put it on my face so y'all can see. Let's see how this looks. See that? Try to get to the sun so y'all can see it. You see that? Got my skin glowing and glistening. So this has also helped as well. So one thing I've noticed is with a few of the different lotions and things that I've used, they've all been good, right? And the thing about the one that I made personally for myself, I was able to do some research on the different types of essential oils and different types of butters that I can use. You know, sometimes you kind of have to watch how much that you use because it can clog your pores if you do too much or use too much. And so, man, this has been, for my body, I've even been told by some friends that it smells great. It lasts for a good amount of time. So I may even do like a video. I still have one in my phone about when I was kind of going through the process of making it. So I'll be sure to release that. But let me show y'all some of the other keloid areas. So as far as from my ear, as you can see, so the ear, I had to get removed a few times, but as you see here, it's still not grown back. So I probably got the ear removed about a year ago, and it has not grown back since. Now, something that I have done for the keloid areas as well, especially after getting the surgery done, is putting pressure on them. So I would say as far as like squeezing them and putting that pressure on them, probably holding it until it goes down, maybe for just like a few seconds, and doing that continuously throughout the day, that's helped tremendously because it's going to reverse how the keloid is going to grow, right? So when you think about the keloid growth, a lot of times it's because that tissue is going to build on top of other tissue. And so if you have a way to be able to kind of put pressure on it to force it down, that's going to help a lot. I also have these keloid bandages, and so these are what I've been putting on my face, and this is going to help to also reduce the pressure. Again, I'm going to show you all this in my next few videos, but this is good because what it's going to do is going to kind of stretch out just like a bandage, and it's going to put pressure on it. So you know, the same way in which you have a bandage, like whenever you have a scar or cut, this is going to kind of do the same thing, but it's going to put more pressure and kind of stretch the keloid and then push it down. And so another area as well, let me see if I can show y'all. So this area has been affecting me a bit, right? So when I did get it removed, it was doing well for like a good period of time. This is an area that has came back though, and I need to actually get this removed again. The reason being I feel like this one has been pretty irritating is because hair, is obviously growing in your hair, in your head, compared to any other areas at a fast rate. And so I've noticed there's quite a few ingrown hairs that get inside the keloid. Now, for the longest, I wasn't really having issues with it, but I feel as my hair has grown a lot more inside the keloids. There's like a lot of itching and things like that. Now, what has been very helpful is getting some of those hairs out. Again, I know that dermatologists don't recommend doing that, but I've noticed for me that it has made it a lot more easier on my body and less frustrating. So what I would do is kind of moisturize that area, and then I would just kind of find if I seen that it was like seeping into the skin. Also, again, there's a type of solution that I would use to be able to help it a bit, but I have noticed that has helped me like quite a bit. So another area that I would say it has grown on my body, but it's not one that there's really that I'm like embarrassed about or anything like that. And this is part of the reason why I have my shirt off. Here's a little small area you can see right there. For this, it may not even be worth getting removed. It's not even really noticeable as much. But I do have a big patch right here, right? And so for this one, this is one that I often forget about, honestly. And it's one whenever I got my keloid removed from on this side, at first I was like, maybe I shouldn't really do it. Maybe I should just go ahead and get it done. I was like, let me just go ahead and do it. And it was like pretty small at the time. It was probably like that size. And it actually grew to this size over time. And it's funny because over time, as it grew, I wasn't even really paying attention to the growth like that, right? But saying all that to say is when you have keloids, that's just part of the process, right? Like you just don't know how your body's going to react and you don't know what it's going to do. Now, one thing that I will advise that I wasn't really advised on when I first got my keloids done at a particular place is that for these bandage straps that you can use for the keloids, you should be using those all the time whenever you get a keloid removed, and even after, it's the process of a few months. Like you want to continue using these, right? And sometimes they tell you to use these for like 16, 24 hours, like just keep it on there. And I'm noticing now that maybe if I use some of those straps or would have known about these strips, then it probably would have kept the keloids down, because I have noticed that it has helped for my face, a little bit on the ear and in the back of the neck. So again, part of the keloid process is just recognizing for your body, like, okay, what areas is it working in, what areas is it not? Because for some people, you're going to have a different type of situation than others, right? Like you may be a person where you get one surgery and it's done. You may be a person that continues to get injections and it works. You may be a person that's like, they get too big, so you got to get on it pretty fast. The thing with the keloids is there's no true way in order to really, to kind of prevent it, right? Like even as far as eating and things like that, like, you may be able to, cut back on some things to where, as far as your skin can be a bit better, to where your hair grows, that it doesn't affect it as much. Because sometimes when you're not eating as well, you're not eating right, the way in which your hair can kind of curl up or however it can just be a little bit off. But there's really no true way to prevent keloids. So even when people give all these recommendations, use this, use that, everybody's skin doesn't react in the same type of way. So for some of us, like, it truly is a genetic thing. Like I recognize and from my family that a lot of people had keloids, right? Even on parts of their body, but it wasn't really recognized as a keloid. It was just like an area where they would say, hey, I have a bump, or, I had ended up having like a little cut in this groove. But I'm someone that has experienced it growing in bigger areas, in different areas, but also in a bigger capacity, to where it's affecting me differently, and also with skincare as well too. So again, like y'all are able to see my skin, like I said, my skin's very clear, especially when I'm eating right, and then also getting a lot of water intake. I just fasted for like 48 hours, so that also helps to remove like a lot of inflammation from my body, which makes me feel great. And so yeah, so this is like a quick, well, it's not a quick, it's actually a pretty long keloid update video, but hopefully this is helpful. Again, I'm going to be doing more videos, so if you feel that you didn't get as much out of this video, definitely keep watching. Again, this is supposed to be to where we can work with each other and just be able to give you someone that can go along the process with you. Like I said, I may not have all the answers, I may not even have any solutions, but I do think a big thing is for you to be able to understand how you can move through in this life with confidence while you have these different type of issues, because you just have to realize that it's just one day. Like, right, it's today is, yeah, I'm going through it, but tomorrow things can be better. As you continue to grow, continue to work on yourself, people around you, people that you meet won't even really notice it, right? Like you may not feel as attractive, right? But over time, as you continue to work on yourself, continue to do those things which you can make your body and stuff look better, like, you know, you're gonna get where people find you attractive that you may have not thought, or you may be in spaces to where like you're that person that everybody's looking at compared to the others that you may think, right? So this is a page where, again, when I talk about my multifacets, it's not even a multifacet in regards to like talents and things like that, just talents and all that. It's more so like teaching you about different things that you can utilize in order to, you know, feel like your best self and then continue to move forward. So I will be uploading this. Definitely stay tuned for all those folks that's interested in keloids, understanding about like acne, and also too just the confidence of getting through that. I'm your boy, so keep following.